6TR, the bright side of Staffordshire.
Les McKeown is back at the Crew Lyceum a week on Sunday, and he's on the phone with me right now. Hello, Les.
It's Les McKeown on Six Towns Radio with Terry Bossons.
It is, yeah. Welcome back.
How you doing, Terry?
I'm good, thank you. I'm good. Just a bit of the man flu at the moment. I know we all suffer from that now and again.
Yeah, well, you know what the girls are going to say about that.
Yeah. Yeah, it's not quite pregnancy, but they don't understand how incapacitated it can be.
It's actually a real thing.
So, Les, I know you talk quite a lot. You still love it so much, don't you, getting playing live shows?
And I do. It's a bit of an addiction for me. I can't really stop. I love going on stage and watching all the smiley faces singing together with me all the hits that we had in the past. It's fantastic.
Yeah. Well, you've done it so long. I was just thinking, actually, as a Bay City Rollers at age 16, you spent a lot of time hiding in hotels and just basically hiding from all these screaming fans and everything like that.
We were kind of cajoled into different places to hide, you know. It was for their safety and ours, I think.
I suppose that didn't subside till the 80s, really. You know, obviously still you were very recognisable, but, you know, the intensity of it died off then.
Oh, yeah. I mean, things have stayed pretty much, the same, but of course they don't try and rip my clothes off now.
I bet some of them do.
Yeah. But every night, like I said, Terry, it's a great thing. I mean, you might experience it yourself. I'm sure you do when you go on stage in a disco or if you're doing some live shows. People want you. They want you to make them happy. You know, that's I think the key thing about being an entertainer.
Yeah.
The audience wants you to help them to enjoy themselves. You know, and I'm an enabler in that sense. So I go out there, I've got the tartan garb on, it's all tartan on stage, all the guys are moving around like the original guys. We've all got, like I said, the tartan, the bass, drums got bass rolls on it. So in a way, they kind of get transported back to the 1970s, to the memories that they had back then, and they feel good about it.
Simpler times, weren't it, the 70s?
Yeah.
They definitely were. Well, last year, you joined forces again with Woody and Alan. You got back on stage with those guys. I know you're doing it again in December. Was it difficult at first, Les?
It's never difficult, really, for me. I mean, although there was a little bit of a problem, because I suppose, people could say that I'm a controlling freak or whatever. I just like to be in charge of what I do so that I can put on the best show in the way I think it should be, and that seems to work. And for instance, Woody's not played live for 20 years, and so if he comes in and he'll have his own ideas, which are like out of date by 2 decades, you know. So there was a little bit of friction there, I must admit, and although we got through it, eventually I ended up when we did Tina Park. Woody decided it was all too much and he wasn't getting his input, and he left the band in the Tina Park Festival in the summer. Then he's had a little think about it and asked him, well, look, I'd like to come back. Okay, I think, after watching all the things on YouTube and all that stuff, yeah, maybe you're right and all that kind of stuff. So I said, look, I'm not being bossy. I just, that's the way things work in the entertainment business. You put on a show and people expect a certain level of quality, I suppose. So we've got ourselves together into a place where they are able to take direction from me and Simon, the musical director, which is all for the better of the show and for the fans. It's not being bossy, although it does sound like bossy.
It's just perfection. I suppose you strive for perfection, don't you?
Well, it's not even like perfection. It's just that's the way it works, And if it's not broken, please don't try and fix it.
I feel that. So yeah, in December you're doing these gigs in some brilliant venues, including Blackpool's Ballroom and the Ritz at Manchester. So that's quite exciting.
Yeah, going to be a hard tour. There's one gig in particular that was going to be very hard, which is we're playing the Hydro in Glasgow on the 11th.
Yeah.
And then we have to drive overnight to Cardiff to do the show on the 12th. It's going to be a tough one, that one. The agents, they never ever think or consider your sleeping habits or anything like that.
I know.
When they book gigs, they just say, yeah, you can be in Edinburgh 1 minute and Tokyo the next day. Not a problem. How much are you going to pay?
I've noticed this. I've spoken to so many singers, and they say that they're in Southampton one day and Glasgow the next, then back down to Brighton. These people
Exactly.
who plan it should have a map in front of them.
or they've got some serious problems and need some psychiatric help.
Maybe so, Les. Let's talk about Les McKeown's Bay City Rollers. Of course, they're coming to Crewe again, and I went last time they played, and it's a great show again for the fans.
Oh, thanks, man.
Just all that nostalgia and great songs, hit after hit.
Yeah, I mean, I'm so keen to keep touring every year. It just keeps me focused and keeps me on the right track, and it's really benefited me. I mean, I got in touch with a great producer in Scotland who came to see one of my gigs. He was a fan since he was 7. And he came backstage and said, "Oh, I really want to make an album with you. I've been a fan of the Bay City Rollers forever and want to put the Bay City Rollers back at #1." And so we've been friends now 2 years. And he asked me if I had any ideas for songs and stuff. So I played him my old tapes. And that's resulted in about 10 songs that are absolutely finished. Maybe 15 are absolutely finished. 10 are on this new album called The Lost Songs by Les McKeown. And we've just got on so well. It's such a happy event when we turn up at the studio, fly up to Scotland for a day or so, do some stuff, fly back to London. Next minute, I've got a brilliant song being on my email, So it's a dream come true, to tell you the truth, because these songs were rushed back in the day. The record company didn't like them. The other guys in the band didn't like them. For whatever reason, now. They've been, I suppose, recognised as being good ideas, and then it's really made me feel great and given me a new sense of energy and stuff.
I've had a look on the website and I've seen all about this, and there's like a pledge music thing where you can go and get involved with it.
Yeah.
It's an exciting thing, and a lot of people will want to hear these songs, Les. They really will.
Yeah. Well, they could easily go on iTunes and type in Les McKeown or type in The Lost Songs and listen to the preview.
Mm-hmm.
And if they like it, they can buy it. It's pretty cheap. It's only £7.50 or something like that. So,
Brilliant.
It's great. I mean, I'm not in a position to have a huge record company behind me, but the songs are really good and they're very of the era, if you know what I mean. Maybe with this modern twist. I don't know what you think about them, Terry, but I think John McLaughlin and his team have done a great production job on those songs.
Yeah. Totally. Well, let's come down see you in Crewe next Sunday for a bit of a sing-song.
Singing all the songs you used to love when you were a kid. Maybe you were about 6, I was about 18. And and we can have a great laugh together.
Yeah. Well, if you leave me after all this time... Les, it's been a pleasure having you on again, mate, and thank you very much for chatting to us. And
Thank
good
you,
luck
Terry.
with it all.
Please come and see us again. It'd be great.
Will do, mate. Cheers.
All right. Top.